So, I just got back from a Burns night supper tonight, February the 4th, 2017. I did the Immortal Memory speech, which is supposed to be a eulogy of Robert Burns, and it was. However, I made it a bit topical. I made it a presidentially themed one. Robert Burns wrote Ode for General Washington on his birthday, about the very first President of the United States. So I came up with a little poem myself about the 45th President of the United States. And I call this one Ode to the Donald on his Incendiary Ascendancy to the Presidency. Oh Donald, did your late mother, Lewis-born Mary MacLeod, e'er rear you to be sae brash, abrasive and loud? 'Cause every time we saw you campaigning on yon wee TV box, your electioneering strategy was, to put it mildly, unorthodox. For inheriting a property empire in New York where buildings stand tall, you will no doubt hear a preferred bidder for that Mexican wall. But to get them to pay for it when it will likely come to such a high amount, when back in 1989 in Berlin there was plenty going at a knockdown discount. And that was doon to Ronnie Reagan, who had plenty of acting stints, whereas he had just cameos in Home Alone 2 and The Fresh Prince. But you're literally the political apprentice whom American voters have hired. So we should tell all those so-called expert opinion pollsters, you're fired. Incredible that you campaigned as a household name for reality TV. So perhaps our next PM should first appear in I'm a Celebrity. But you didna hear much quality rivals for party nomination, and you beat them after much ado and consternation. Just look at the likes of why you gaed the big push. Why only somebody like old W's brother, Jeb Bush, who had the audacity to claim Brother W kept America secure, even though 9/11 happened during his presidential tenure. And on the rest of the candidates, you just went to town, beating nearest rival Marco Rubio quite literally, hands down. Though we laughed, dear Donald, at such a phallic debate, did you need to target Mexicans and Muslims with such hate? Your Achilles heel should have been the taped misogyny, except you're up against controversial Bill and Hillary. Though she won the majority of popular votes, as you do acknowledge, that doesn't matter in that voting system, the Electoral College. Now in office though, if you were to attempt some of which you literally preached, then constitutionally, dear Donald, you would find yourself impeached. Such a situation would surely be tense, and the world would then look upon a Vice President Pence. But for as long as you're POTUS, Donald, here's some advice. Try to put your more radical ideas on ice. And to restore relations with Russia that have been seriously failing, why not give Putin back Alaska, but also include Sarah Palin? The threat of the hockey mom might just bring him into line, and everything in the world could start to be fine. And to get North Korea out for its dangerous nuclear rut, why don't you go with Kim Jong-un for a decent haircut? You're a bit of a night owl, Donald, who doesna need much sleep, and you'll certainly no lose ony o'er the likes of Meryl Streep. Robert De Niro said he wants to punch you in the face. Too bad for Hollywood that none of them bothered to run in the race. And you're no exactly one for listening to what the experts say, especially about Russia and Putin when it comes from the CIA. But against all odds, Donald, you seized the reins of power. Whether you did or didn't, hear that Russian golden shower. But unlike old Vlad, you canna be president for life, which will limit Melania's term as First Lady, but no as your third wife. Which reminds me of her now infamous campaign oration, when we learned that Michelle Obama was, materially, her inspiration. But all said and done, you've got the keys to the White House, and you'll be given enough rope there to mark your own noose. Finally, while we've got Pennsylvania Avenue amongst your money abodes, let us all hope you can remember the nuclear codes. For you are now leader of the free world. Incredibly. Good grief. And it is for you they will now play the tune. Hail to the chief!